Can you believe 8 pigs used to live in this house? We're actually renovating this project for one of our clients. The DNR came out here and told the tenant that they actually had to move their pigs inside rather than outside. So we're gonna go inside and see what comes along with rehabbing a pig house. Let's go inside and check it out. New door, new windows in. Halfway in anyway. Here's the living room. You can see we got everyone working in here. You can see we took the kitchen out. Obviously we're gonna put all new kitchen in here. Window is out. It's not too often you get to see your house with no windows. Sump pump exploded. We'll look at that. We'll go in the basement and check that out.
They had screws in every room along the ceiling.
Really?
Like they had LED lights.
I was gonna say probably lights.
About 200 or so. Yeah.
Jeez.
Took them all out and sealed over.
So I talked to the neighbor.
As you can see, Frank works.
Yeah, I guess these people had a couple potbelly pigs that would always get out, and the neighbors have horses. So I guess DNR came out a few times.
Oh, geez.
So they had to bring the pigs in the house.
Oh God. You know, that would explain the basement.
Yeah. Yes.
That bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you they were down there.
I don't know, but after talking with the neighbor,
They had to bring their pigs inside.
it's good they're gone. Yeah.
That's wild. This here in the corner was interesting. It was a like a wood burning
Wood burning stove. Yeah.
heater. Yeah, heated the whole house this way. But I don't think it did anymore because it's actually got HVAC. You can see the floor grate down there. So like it's got heat and everything, but they had like this old supplemental wood burner. So we ripped that out. It was on a platform, ripped the platform out, holes out the walls, the ceilings, everything else, patch all that up, make it look good, make it look like a normal family room again. We had these barn doors throughout the whole place, which are actually pretty nice. You look at these hinges and these wheels and everything, I mean, these are some pretty heavy duty barn doors. They want to get rid of them and put new modern stuff in there, but it looks like the pigs got down here and ate up some of this drywall. It's the first time I've seen pigs eating drywall in one of our flips. So when we came to look at this house at first, I was talking to the guy about this. I was like, man, look at this sink. This thing's nasty. I think we should just replace this bowl. And he's like, no, my cleaners can clean that. Maybe he's right. It's just hard water. They had chemicals and stuff sitting on it. Looks like they turned the water off, but you might be able to actually get that down back to white. If you can, sink saved. 1, 2, 3 bedroom. New window, replacing the old bad windows, new light fixtures, paint the whole place, new trim, plugs, plate switches, all that stuff. But look at these doors. You can just tell by this track, a lot of weight on these things, and you can see they're very loose up there on the ceiling. I believe they are getting rid of them and putting just regular doors back in, but they're pretty cool. And the further back you go, you can definitely smell the pigs in this house. So obviously the new flooring and the paint is gonna help that. When we rip out this flooring, put in the new stuff, anything trapped in the floor is gonna be pulled out, right? Any of the smell that's on the walls, once it gets kills, painted, primed, it's gonna seal all the smell or get rid of all the smell. And then you won't be able to smell it anymore, but in this room specifically, I can definitely smell the pigs. Frank, is there any of that trim left that was in here? This whole place was done in like DIY trim. What was it, like 2x1 or something?
1x4 pine.
1x4 that they just literally nailed and screwed.
Pine, like all messed up.
Screwed it all to the walls, all uneven and not looking well, and they just like took a brush and stained it. It didn't look great. Yeah, so like this, except it was all over everything, and they stained it this awful dark brown color, kind of like the doors, but super uneven, super messy. It didn't look good. Kind of like what's in front of the tub, actually. All different stains, all different levels, all different waviness, not cut to length. It looked terrible. You might have heard him talk about it earlier, but in the basement there was a disgusting tub down there full of just who knows what. You can see what I imagine is the old pig pen. Now we're gonna go head out to the barn and check out where the pigs stayed. All right, quick pit stop. I wanted to talk about this back deck before we head to the barn. As you can tell, this thing's kind of falling apart. We're gonna rebuild this. New handrails, straighten all this out, restain it all. Everything you need to have a nice porch again. I mean, you can tell at one point they had some kind of animals in here. Being that it's covered all the way around, I would guess chickens. I didn't hear anything about chickens, but if we're in farmland and there's pigs, there's a good chance there's chickens. Now this is something you might not be used to seeing if you live in a city. This is a propane tank. It holds propane. It pretty much does anything that you would need natural gas or whatever for to heat. Instead, they fill a big propane tank, and the big propane tank fills the house. Funny enough, there is a pink propane tank company, and their whole company is about like Piggly's tanks. Connor will probably find a picture of it, but they literally have pink tanks in the shapes of pigs. So might go with the pig house. On our frigid walk back to the barn, I wanted to talk about our merch real quick. It's our first setup of the merch shop. If you get a chance to check it out, we appreciate it. Now we're back in the pig pen. As you can tell, smell, not taken care of at all. Straw all over the floor, keep them warm. You can see the whole thing's falling apart. It really should just be knocked over. If we climb back through here, you can see all the straw, hay bed. I wouldn't doubt if there's wild animals, maybe deers, maybe cats, whatever, living in here now that it's empty. But I can see why the DNR didn't want them keeping animals in this thing. I mean, it's definitely not made to maintain the animals. Even if you look out here, even this fence is kind of slapstick and not really putting together well. Same thing, all the sides are rotten out. Watch your face. You can see they had a light on here, which is interesting because the light's just hooked to an extension cord. I don't know I don't know how they were powering that unless they were running an extension cord from the house or something, because there's no power in the barn, there's no power in this thing. Had to be plugged to the house at some point. And I'm not gonna go in there, but I would bet this was probably a chicken coop. There's a staircase in there, Connor can show you. So something had to be able to climb the stairs, but pigs wouldn't do that. So I'm guessing chicken coop. Even got the golden doorknob right here, just in case, you know. So now we're gonna go check out the basement. This is where I imagine the pigs spent a lot of their time, probably where the pigs lived. So let's go check out the basement and see what we can find. This here is actually some decent trim, but you can tell when they nailed it in, they split it everywhere. This is very DIY level. The stain, I mean, there's like some green here. I don't know if the camera can get that. There's like green here. It's real dark here. It's real light here. That was the whole house. Now, ironically, this is probably the best space of the house because they didn't do much to it, but they very much did their own DIY electrical, where they just kind of broke the drywall open, ran their wiring right through it to the light. So, you know, professional shit. Dry lock all this, you know, all the brick and stone. Finish the drywall off on the ceiling, make it a nice finished space, and, you know, deodorize down here for the pigs. They obviously had something hanging from these too. I don't know if it was like some kind of grow lights or something, but something hanging all through this ceiling. Here's part of the sump pump that blew up. You can see right there, just cracked. Laundry area, furnace, water heater. Here's the sump. All of this sludge and all that stuff is usually pumped out, but sump pump exploded, so nothing's being pumped out. It's not a huge deal right now because there's not a ton of water here, but it's definitely something you want to get fixed before it gets wet. Right now everything's frozen, so there's not a ton of runoff. As soon as it starts melting, it's gonna be a problem. I believe that this was a grow room at one point with all the different wiring they've had all run through here. That's what it looked like when we first toured it. I don't know, pig farmers out in the middle of the country growing some weed. It doesn't seem unlikely. This here was, I believe, the pig's bath. Actually, I put a picture of it on Facebook. There used to be a big soaking jacuzzi tub here. Pretty sure that's where they bathed the pigs because it was all just full of mud and nasty and gross stuff. And pigs are gross. As you can tell, more of the DIY electrical, more of the DIY plumbing. They just kind of built this little platform for it to sit on. It's one way to do it. Wasn't done great, but it was done. We're just gonna put that back together nicely. New floor, toilet, vanity, that kind of stuff. There's nothing really here but a bunch of flies. Again, probably because of pigs living in the basement. One car garage. I believe we're gonna spray it black, make it look clean. You can tell the dumpster's pretty full from here. May need to get a second one of those. Bunch more flies. At one point the pigs may have been in the garage too. I guarantee you, you have not flipped a house or know somebody who's flipped a house that has had pigs living in the basement. Now you do. Pancake mix, blueberry Red Bull.
Perfect combination.
Exactly. I like blueberry myself too, so good choice. As you can tell, this is the before. You'll see the after when it's done. A lot of good stuff going on out here. If you want to see another house like this that we actually just bought, go ahead and click right here.